Welcome, everybody. It's good to have you here. I am Red or Rook, and this is Genre Mongrel. Genre Mongrel. It'd be great if I could say it, huh? It's that kind of night, and it's a good night for some Call of Cthulhu. Super excited to have all you viewers here. We are going to kind of give a recap of what happened in the last two sessions that we've already done. And hopefully this will be the culmination of our investigators scenario, which is the ties that bind from the Doors to Darkness book. This one should prove to be quite interesting, and I can't wait. But we're going to have to for a minute because I would like each of our investigators to introduce themselves again, starting with the wonderful face above me that is that of Groupie.
Hey everybody, I am Group 2s. I am playing Tomas Cavallero. He's union organizer from out in Chicago, and he's been over here on Northeast for a little while. And his buddy dragged him into some shit. You know how it goes. Looking forward to our awesome finale. I also, just as a total internal side note, might need a reminder so that I can change all the titles on these three to the ties that bind, because I've just been using Call of Cthulhu for everything.
All good.
Who's next?
We'll go around with Jim.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jim, or JM. He, him. I play Jack Molinaro, a boxer who was asked to come and protect some rocks, which were not rocks. They were not rocks whatsoever. And I've seen some shit in the past few days, and it's kind of been a bit much. So I'm excited to play and ready to go.
All right. And last but not least, Pig Tie.
Hi, I'm Pig Tie. It's your boy Pig Tie. I'm playing Jeanette P. Abernathy. It's a farm girl who was a little smarter and had to run off to the city where she could learn things and be educated and kind of, fulfill her desire to learn things and be all that she could be. She's a bombshell. She's a rather short and curvy girl, because she does enjoy using it to her advantage.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And we are currently missing our fireman, who is off doing actual fireman things. And that is James Ashley Williams, our Boston-born and Boston-raised fireman. They are a he, him. And we are going to kind of give a little recap, see how our investigators are feeling while we wait to see if our firefighter is going to be joining us. So with that, where is everybody at in the realms of sanity at the moment? I know I've been trying to whittle away at that number.
Slowly but surely. I am sitting at a current 93.
Likewise, 93 at the moment. Slightly insane, maybe, or I don't know. I really don't. I mean, is 93 slightly insane, or is it
I feel like that's more like you're kind of on the verge of questioning shit. Like, there's some things going on here that don't fit my worldview, but you're not like losing it yet. Like pointing your gun at the chair and being like, "Talk, fucker! I know it's you."
Yeah, pretty much that.
Oh, gotcha.
How about Jeanette? Where is she at right now?
She's at 97. She's been lucky to not have been there when the half the person had been snatched away from the rest of his self. So
Yeah, when the shit hit the window, Jeanette was thankfully in the lobby.
it hit the pan. Technically, shit hit the pan.
Hit the pan. Yeah. So what has gone on? Just broad strokes up until now is our investigators were called out to a vandalism scene at a massive Ipswich County estate for a Mrs. Enid Carrington and all of her wonderful, wonderful money. There was a destroyed fountain, and she found some beautiful rocks that she just couldn't wait to have appraised, which all of that kind of kicked off. There was a workman that stole one and took it back to give it coincidentally to Mrs. Carrington's daughter, Mary. Through the course of some very interesting things, our poor Alfred managed to speed up the incubation of this egg, and resulting in it hatching and crying out for its mother, who was apparently somewhere around the area looking for it.
That's an ugly baby.
Yeah, well, parents love all their children. It's okay. So the incident that was then incited of the mother creature, I believe, didn't we find out the name of this creature? No, we did not. Interesting. But we do know that it was possibly ridden by someone called the Marsh Wizard. And it was described as a dragon-like steed that an older gentleman named Andrew Lehman saw flying across the sky. And his life has subsequently been ruined since that article came out. But Mama found baby, subsequently crashed through the large window of Alfred. Al smashed through Al's window. And
I would take the easy way out in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Saw her child in the clutches of the esteemed professor, and decided that that was not going to do. And in the process of snatching back her baby, also managed to snatch out about half of his guts. That whole incident rendered poor Mary Carrington in a catatonic state of shock, to which she was hauled off to Arkham Sanatorium. And our fellow investigators went back out to Mrs. Carrington's place at that point to try to get a hold of her and figure out what was going on back there and warn her about her beautiful rocks that are not rocks, her beautiful, not so pretty eggs, only to find the 3 workmen that were set to guard that cellar were torn or dropped from a great height. All 3 of them massacred, and signs in the cellar that Mama had come back for the rest of her brood. After that, the group decided they were going to look up in the phone book after taking some showers and getting cleaned off at Tomas's place, because somehow he has the largest dwelling.
Proof that union pays.
Yeah. He gets his off the top. And going in there, got cleaned up, discovered that there was only one Andrew Lehman in the phone book. Found this man, and I believe bargained with him for, was it $5?
Yep, $5 to hear his tale. Before heading back to my place, though, we also took a trip to the college.
How did I leave all that out? Go.
So when we found out that the eggs were gone, Mama freaked out too, and she went and had her own little conniption fit. So she got carted off to Arkham with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Son was still gone, but he went to the same college that the daughter did. So we hightailed it over to the college. Everybody piled into my car because apparently I am the richest motherfucker here. So
Own it.
College, and we split the party because that's what you're supposed to do.
Always.
Couple of boys checked the boys' dormitories, got a little bit of intel there. Meanwhile, I and Jeanette checked the girls' dormitory and finagled our way in, much due to the wiles, the womanly wiles of Jeanette. Find the daughter's dorm, where the son is in there packing bags. We had to explain everything to him. Our party reconvened. He didn't think that overturning the professor's office was going to give us much, but there is a very nice library on campus. So we decided to go try and sneak into that. And while the boys were messing with the lockbox, it turns out that Jeanette's womanly wiles extend to locksmithing, and she just popped it open and said, all right, come on, let's go. Everybody else but me was apparently very familiar with the Dewey Decimal System. I got lost on the 3rd floor. The answers were on the 1st floor. And this is how we found Andrew Lehman's name. And the description of the beast and the marsh wizard that was riding on top of it. So we decided, okay, it's fucking late. We're kind of over this. We all went back to my place, let everybody get cleaned up, changed if they had clothes available kind of deal. Some of us were still carrying around bits and pieces of the professor on their jackets and shit.
Yep.
Did a little bit of extra reading in a book that I believe Jeanette found in the library. You gave us a boost to Mythos on that?
Yes. So one of the books that was found that I've already forgotten the name of, apologies.
We can call it the important one.
The important one. The very important book that was written all in Latin was found by Jeanette and given to Tomas, who I believe that resulted in a 2% boost to occult?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. And I believe Tomas spent some time reading in that book? Or you were working on translating parts of it?
About an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So about an hour's worth of skimming through Latin, because that's easy. So about 3 pages. But yeah, so that a very good extra fun for an incredible spot hidden roll there, or luck roll, one of the two. I swear, I have a wonderful memory and take great notes sometimes. What else happened?
Well, after that, I think you got us covered. We, hit up the phone book, looked up Andrew Lehman, found out where he lives and that he was willing to talk to us for $5, which I believe we all pitched in a couple of bucks. And then we were getting ready to head over there and talk to him. As far as other loose threads, though, what do we got? Mom and daughter at Arkham, and we sent the brother.
We did get back to the property, I do believe. And the eggs were gone.
Yep.
We got that covered. Somebody was trying to deduce from their own knowledge where we might be able to find the nest or the roost. I don't remember how that played out, if we were able to come up with anything on that.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of you would have had intimate enough knowledge of this creature to be able to discern where it might decide to take up its home while it is sharing this dimension with you all.
Now, there was a marsh discussed in the sighting.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that I think our friend said for the $5 he will show us specifically where he saw everything. Because I remember that Jack talked to him and basically was trying to convince him, I'm not here to make fun of you. I'm not here to, make things worse. It's just I'm genuinely curious about what you saw.
I think it's interesting. We're going to meet a stranger in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, because you're not meeting him at his house. He definitely told you to meet out at the end of a country road intersection, kind of further out, around, Ipswich and Essex County, not Ipswich County, just to correct myself on that one. But yeah, the document that you all found in that folklore book, the Superstitions and Folklore of Essex County, said that the infamous marsh wizard of Ipswich has been haunting Essex County, I'll say it eventually, for centuries, according to many local accounts. Evidence of his existence goes back to at least the 18th century, where accounts of disappearing cattle and people were associated with the marsh wizard. Such accounts include the notion that the wizard had a demon familiar, as the flapping of giant wings was reported on more than one occasion. The tales grow more outlandish over time, with some claiming that the marsh wizard had a dragon-like steed that he uses to ride the night skies and terrorize local residents. The illustration that was shown on the page is an artist representation of testimony given by the young man at that time, named Andrew Lehman, who claimed to have seen the wizard riding the beast over the salt marshes one night in 1906.
This totally sounds like a Dio song.
And having found Andrew Lehman, you all managed again to bribe him. A very suspicious man who has grown very used to being mocked and teased for what he swears he knows he saw so long ago. And you all bribed him, and he said, fine, I will show you where I saw this creature. I will show you where I believe the location might be. So
It was Jack that called him?
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess you're coming back from the payphone as we pick up or something, right?
Yeah, I think I had come back, told you everything, and then collected the money with me saying that I would toss it $2 because we're a four-person group. And I think everyone was just doing their preparations to all hop into the car before we go.
Sounds good. Yeah, make sure I lock my door before I leave, because shit's apparently crazy in the Northeast.
It's a crazy world out there.
I can verify from personal experience.
Just a little bit. All right. Let's see. Let me work it.
And I'll holler out the car window. Come on, James, you coming?
James will join in the car. We'll see how this goes. So you all take the trips. This is in the morning at this point. You all have slept. Well, you've slept. It is. I think you all got back to the house at like 2 or 3 a.m. Around 2 a.m. we'll say. So this is probably about 8, 9. I don't know how long you all have slept. You know what? Here, we'll do a thing. There's a D12. All right, it's 10 a.m. Wonderful. So the city is waking up. Not that it is super bustling out here, kind of in the outskirts. And you all take your drive back towards Arkham and into the surrounding salt marshes. The place that Andrew Lehman asked you to meet him seems to be somewhat almost inside of the just right at the edges of where the marshes begin. And part of the drive, most of the drive actually feels very familiar because it's part of the way that you drove to get to Mrs. Enid Carrington's construction site. It isn't until you veer off to the right down that rural country road that it's goes and deviates from the direction to go towards Enid.
When you say
the road
rural country road, are we looking at like farmlands or forest?
This is moving into forest. It's very sparsely. There are very sparse signs of any kind of inhabitation through here. It is mostly, as you drive down this very quiet and very lonely road, you're the only vehicle on it. Trees have kind of grown over and have started to kind of create this canopy over the road that actually makes it darker than it seems to be. And eventually, a few miles down the road, you see another car. Looks very much like you cannot believe that vehicle actually might have brought someone here. And it just sits at the intersection. And as your car approaches, a very bedraggled, a very rough-looking guy gets out of this vehicle. He looks unkempt. It's disheveled hair, a beard that probably needs to be combed. It's kind of going in all directions. Definitely doesn't look like he keeps it trimmed. His hair has kind of grown longer, a little shaggy and kind of in his face as he kind of pushes it up and out. And he just stands next to the vehicle and waits for you all to come to a stop.
Really don't like being this far out in the woods.
Yeah, I can't say I blame you too much there, but I think it's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of whatever this thing is, this marsh wizard or whatever its pet is.
Yeah, well, you're the one who was on the phone with him. You want to do the talking?
Yeah, it works for me.
I think
You
if we
wanna
get
come with
all
me?
out at one time, it's going to scare him off.
Fair enough. All right. You guys hang back here. I'll give you a signal when it's time to come out. And I will get out of the car, straighten myself up a little bit from being in the back seat, because no one's allowed in the front seat, apparently. And I will walk over.
All right. So you approach him, and his eyes kind of dart between you and the car, and then just kind of, yeah.
You're Andrew, right? I'm Jack. We talked on the phone. And I'd offer him my hand.
He'll kind of like when you begin to stick your hand out, you see that he like looks at your hand like he's expecting you to pay him immediately. And when he notices that you don't have the money in your hand, he kind of like reaches out very hesitantly and kind of greets you.
Yep.
I'm Andrew.
Gets a nice handshake. Listen, don't know if I mentioned on the phone that I'm working with a few other people. They're here. I know what you probably are waiting for. Reach into my shirt pocket, $5. Mm-hmm. And I'll hand it to him.
Yeah, he'll take it, count, the 5 bills, and just stick it down into his pocket.
Like I said, we ain't here to make fun of you. We think we saw something that is similar to what you might have encountered, and we just want to get some more information. And who better than somebody else who's not going to think that we're crazy?
He kind of like looks back to the car, back to you. He's like, do they think I'm crazy? Is that why they're not getting out of the car?
No, that's not it at all, sir. They just didn't want to spook you. You get some random car pulls up, 4 people get out of it. And could be a little intimidating. They're just waiting for me to tell them to come on over. I just want to make sure it's good with you that we're here and that
He kind of gives like a hoarse kind of cough laugh almost. It's very like, again, that voice and the disuse of it. Like no one talks to this man. He just, it's not like anyone else would come driving down this road. He just kind of gives a shrug.
Once he gives the shrugs, I'm gonna turn to the car and I'm just gonna make a little come on out motion with my hand.
I was kind of hoping he'd just run off with the money. This means he's probably for real. Fuck.
Jack just kind of looks at you. What? You're not ready for this?
Just don't like being this far out in the woods. People talk about camping and everything, just never sat right with me. And there's things in the woods. The bears.
Just had to.
I've been waiting 3 sessions for that joke.
Oh, so terrible.
So bad. Don't
And I got yelled at for my joke last session.
Yeah, that's a rival to it right there.
Fair.
All right.
Sure.
I get out of the car and go meet Andy.
I'm gonna get out with like that movie star,
It's the leg
girl
first.
hot spot kind of thing
Yeah.
with a hair flip,
Yep.
smile, and you spread over.
Jack, I think you would notice that as Jeanette gets out of the car, Andrew Lehman takes a step back and looks horrified. Just horrified.
When I see him looking horrified, I'm going to turn immediately behind me to see, what the heck did he see?
You just see Jack, Jeanette, and Tomas coming out of the vehicle.
James, you mean? I'm Jack.
Sorry, James.
Okay.
There's too many J's, y'all. Seriously.
A, there's too
Why
many.
did you do this to
There's
me?
too many. There's too many J's. B, my name is actually James. It's gonna get confusing.
Y'all do this to me on purpose, and now I have to be someone else.
I was not a part of this.
I did not do anything on purpose, but now I'm considering it.
The last one shot we had weird names too. We just had it was just one name, no last name, just so.
I'm fine with it. All right. So yeah, you get the impression from this man who has probably not dealt with people in a very long time that he is now just ready to not have this many people around him, even though the others haven't even reached him yet.
Listen, as I see listen, we're all in the same boat. We saw something. We were all together when we saw it, and we just want some answers about anything you could provide us. I know you might be a little daunting seeing four of us, but that's the way it was. And anything you could tell us would be helpful. And why don't you tell us whatever you can? We have no problem with you being on your way.
He just kind of nods, and as soon as James, Jeanette, and Tomas are there, he just goes, "Okay, look, so I stopped along the side of this road. My horse had a stone caught in its horseshoe, and so I was tending to that, and then the horse, Dakota just started wickering and shaking, and I couldn't even get him to calm, and normally he's a very calm horse, and I heard wings. I heard the beating of wings, and that's not exactly something you see. And then I saw that thing come up, and he points further into the marsh, came up from that direction, over the tree line, and it just flew off towards the horizon. It had that like the horse-shaped head, the clawed arms and legs, and there was this man like in a cloak that was riding on its back. And 1 second it was there, the next second gone. And at that point, I was so freaked out. I just hopped back onto Dakota and we took off. Like, I just wanted to get home. And so, like I said, that direction through the marsh is where I saw that creature come from. That's all I got.
I'm looking that direction that he pointed, where it came from. And you mentioned we're at an intersection. Is this 4-way, 3-way?
Yeah. So this is basically like a 2-way. It's, well, I guess technically a 3-way. It's the road that you came in on that then butts into the road that then goes perpendicular to that road.
Okay. And across the marsh, there are no roads?
Nope. He is pointing directly into the thick of the woods and the marsh.
I am staring at the marsh like this guy's insane. All right, go ahead.
You said there was a rider in a cloak. Do you get anything about the cloak? Any facial features or anything like that?
They weren't that close. Like I said, I saw a man. I saw a man's face. Like you can kind of look and for the most part tell the difference between male and a female, and kind of motions to James and Jeanette. Like there's obvious differences. And he just had this big old cloak on, freaking the fuck out, and I left. I'm not like some people who get all curious. I just wanted to be the heck out of there.
I don't blame you. Do we? I'm gonna look to my group. Do we have that? The book.
Different book. Oh, we have a book.
No, I don't. Oh, we don't. We didn't take the one with the picture.
No.
Oh, great. All right.
We took both books, I think. I didn't put it back. I don't remember anybody saying they put it back, so I'm assuming we still have it.
I guess we have it. Who's got the book? Just one more question before we let you go. So, and once I get the book, I just quickly find the page. What you saw, it looked something like this.
Yeah, that's what they drew off what I told them.
I mean, I don't think I got any more questions other than we know we got to go through the marsh. It looks like. Anyone else want to ask something?
As soon as you say that, he says, "Okay, good," and then goes back to his car. It takes about 10 seconds for him to get the thing cranked, and then he just takes off down the road.
I look at the other three in my group and say, I want my dollar back. That wasn't worth $5.
But didn't you hear, dear? He's a part of the union. I'll walk back to the car.
And I damn sure don't want to go walking through that. Fuck.
I want to look at the atlas and see about where we are. See if I can find it on the atlas. And see if I can find a general area.
You find the roads, but as you kind of look, and normally there'd be a little bit of topography mixed in there that would show the trees or identify some kind of marsh. There is just blank space, as if this area didn't exist when this book was made. And if any of you want to give me just a straight intelligence roll, you may. And I will roll for James.
Why not? What's the worst that can happen? That's the worst that could happen.
Oh, what'd you get?
89.
I got a
20.
What was it? Did you say 24, Jeanette?
27.
Okay. What did Tomas get?
I got a success with a 54.
Out of
80.
just a straight success?
Yeah.
Okay. James got a success as well. But Jeanette got a hard success. So, Jeanette, as you kind of...
Second. Run me through... Was it the... halves and... Okay. Doesn't matter. Never mind. Sorry.
So Jeanette, as you kind of look at this and you kind of begin to think about, like, okay, dude was a wizard and doing weird shit, calling out weird shit. And from finding those books and working with Tomas on the occult book, and that he was translating for you from Latin, you remember hearing of a few like protection kind of spells and things like that, and you almost wonder if maybe there had been some kind of protection on this place so people wouldn't find it. That if this marsh wizard doesn't exist anymore, perhaps they don't exist either.
I relay my thought to the group.
If there's protection spells for the area, maybe there's protection spells for us.
That would be nice.
Something to keep our feet dry.
Yeah, you flip through that book and just kind of skim a little bit in Latin, and unfortunately, Tomas is not able to identify a spell that will keep his feet dry in the marsh. But you do get the impression that that is where you need to go. Wet feet or not.
If I wanted to check the boot, as it were, in the hopes that I have something, would that be a luck roll?
Or you're looking in your car for something?
Yeah.
What you looking for?
Better pair of boots.
Yeah, give me a luck roll.
Looking for some wellies.
Oh, that was close. 58 out of 60.
Yeah, with that success, I'll say Tomas being used to traveling across all sorts of different kinds of work sites and things, you do have a pair of wellies. You know, not great with tread, but will at least keep your feet dry.
Jeanette's gonna take her shoes off and her socks off, and the country girl's gonna come out.
Very nice. Yeah, Jeanette is going swamp babe and just barefooting it. All right. James is just kind of looking at the two of you and just looks down at his work boots and he's just, yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Tomas, I thought you were a little bit more rugged than that.
I'm Rugged City. Told you, I don't like being this far out.
Sound of banjos start playing.
Yeah, you just hear the faint echo of banjos coming from deeper in the marsh.
Hey.
Hey, we've got our firemen.
How you guys doing?
Welcome, welcome. So, quick recap. You have had your encounter with Andrew Lehman, the one who spotted the creature and the wizard. He just hightailed it out of there after pointing deeper into the marsh that you all drove up to. An area with no further roads. And you've all pretty much, Tomas just changed into some wellies that he had in his boot. And Jeanette has decided to go full on swamp babe and go barefoot as you all are getting ready to head into the swamp. So welcome.
Sweet.
All right. So, any more prep or do you guys head in?
Ready to go.
All right. Who is leading the way as you all head in?
Not it. But I'd like to nominate our swamp babe.
Whoever's got the map.
Oh, at this point, there is no map. As Jeanette pointed out to you, there is no context on your map as to this area.
I want to try to look for the driest bits of ground, kind of guide Denver swamp in that general direction.
All right. I'm going to have you give me a navigate check.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Let me see if I got anything for that. Can I use Natural World? That's something else.
Yeah, that's something else.
Yeah. Oh,
What'd you get?
78.
Okay. So you all head into this marsh, and Jeanette leading the way, kind of moving from log to log, branch to branch as much as she can to avoid this murky, nasty, dense swamp water that is all around. You can, inside this salt marsh, you hear every once in a while odd noises. The croaking of a frog that just sounds a little off. Birds that kind of warble in the air, but it's not the cheery chirping that you're used to. It's more slow and like they're almost sluggish in calling out to each other. There's every once in a while you hear the gurgle and bubble of the water, and as you guys move through, and it feels like a literal slog as you navigate through this marsh, and it almost feels like you've your boots and your shoes, your clothing that is touching the water, your pant legs just kind of almost get sucked in, and it's that loud kind of suction as you lift your feet up to continue to try to move in the general direction that Andrew Lehman pointed out to you as you go. And as you get deeper into this marsh, the trees get denser. The branches gnarled and dark and bare of leaves somehow still create this twisted canopy above you. The light that manages to filter in through them is no longer bright, which you would expect at 11 noon. How long have you been in this swamp? You really don't know, but it feels like forever. You're starting to sweat, that sticky feeling, and with this being a salt marsh, it's also drying. It's this very foreign feeling to all of you as you move through and try to find your way. And eventually it feels like you've gone past the same spot 5 times.
All right. I know that log was there an hour ago. Am I the only one?
No, we definitely have passed this before. And I'm going to pull the dagger out from my boot, and I'm literally just going to mark an X on one of the trees.
Give me a spot hidden roll.
Alrighty. That's not the right thing.
It might be. We're desperate. Try it.
God darn it. Nice. Okay, here we go. That is a 32.
Actually, I'm going to have you roll that with a bonus die since you're going. So re-roll that 10's dice just to see.
The 10's dice. Got it. That's a 0.
Beautiful. So that makes it a 1? Wait, a 2? Holy shit.
That makes it a 2.
Okay. Well, if you haven't already checked the box next to spot hidden, please go ahead and do that. So as you go to mark on this tree, you notice that there's already a mark on the tree, and it looks like this strange horseshoe-shaped symbol with other small markings inside of it. And what do you do when you find that?
Hey,
It's purposeful.
It looks what?
Purposeful.
Hey, does anybody have that arcane book still? The book with the drawing of the monster?
I think Jeanette had it.
Come check out the symbols. Looks like somebody carved something in here.
The book over. I walk over and I take a look at the tree. And get the
So you're looking in the folklore book?
Yeah.
Okay. You flip through the various folklores in the book, but other than that one page on the wizard, there's no symbol that looks like what's on that tree.
I'll glance over their shoulders. Do I recognize anything from the other book?
Give me... Let's see. You have the book on you. I'll say you take a few minutes to kind of flip through the book. And you do find a page. And this one is written in an older Latin, so it's a little harder for you to understand, but you see the symbol. You see six total symbols on this page, and the words that you can still make out read protection, and then further down the page, destroy. And as you kind of look up from the book, you notice as some of the mist that has been gathering in the swamp from the heat that's been able to penetrate through of the day, now that it is midday, you notice that slightly beyond this tree, it opens to a clearing, and you all have walked onto essentially what seems to be an island of ground here in the swamp. Looking through, you do see, through everything, there are some old huts, these really dilapidated buildings, 3 of them, further off in the distance, surrounded by this clearing and a copse of trees around it. And at that point, I want everyone to give me either a spot hidden or a listen roll. Whichever one you want to, but you may only roll one of the 2.
33 on listen, but it's a 40. I have 40 for the listen.
Okay. What'd you get, Tomas? What'd you get?
98.
Jesus Christ.
That's lovely.
I got a 71 for spot hidden, so.
Okay. Not great.
No, not ideal, I'd say.
Spot hidden or listen roll, Jim.
Yeah, we need Jack to roll either spot hidden or listen roll.
I just noticed he came back in. I didn't know if he heard you or not.
Yeah. I'm hoping he can hear us.
I don't know if anyone could see me right now, but I
We
can
can't.
hear.
We can hear you, though.
All right. I'm sorry. My tech systems are messing up, and I feel bad.
It's Cthulhu. It's fine.
Yeah.
What's
fucking with you.
I'm clearly Cthulhu's greatest threat.
Clearly.
Wait. Wrong campaign. Sorry. That's Denizens next week, everybody.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, I'm back.
Wait till I start the.
Welcome back.
Did I miss anything super important?
So Jack found James found, not Jack. See, I'm still doing it. Found a symbol in the tree, in this tree that he was about to mark to see if you all were passing it again. And upon a search through Tomas's Book of the Occult, he found the page. It is written in a dialect or a form of Latin that's not too familiar to him, but the words he was able to translate said protect, and then further down the page it said destroy. And there were 6 total symbols on the page in his book. And then kind of looking further beyond that tree, the area that you are on, which now seems to appear to be an island in the middle of the swamp, you can make out the kind of outlines of 3 very dilapidated huts. And there's basically these trees that surround a clearing that the huts are in. And I was just having everyone roll for either spot listen or spot hidden or listen. I'm going to combine the two. Welcome. I'm doing great tonight, you guys. I'm not tired at all. I need caffeine.
So I'll do spot hidden, and because if I did listen, it would fail. I get a 42.
Next time I'm having you call before you roll, but that's fine.
Sorry.
So
I would have chosen that anyway. It's high. The one is higher.
So first off, actually no, not first off. Which did you fail on?
Spot hidden.
Thomas. Okay. So as you look around, Tomas, and you're kind of on this little section of island, when you look down at your feet, you kind of notice something on the ground, and it looks like a very oddly colored rock, and you kind of use the toe of your Wellington boots to shift it. And when it shifts, you notice that it is a piece of a human skull. And I'm going to ask you to roll sanity.
That's fair. Nice. 69.
Nice. So seeing this and then seeing more pieces around it of other pieces of body and bone, you are going to lose 2 points of sanity. How do you react to seeing that?
I am just going to do a little jump and a couple of steps back, and try not to trip over any protruding bones in the earth. And I think, playing into just how bad a roll that was, I will actually end up like on my ass on the ground and clutch the book to my chest, hoping not to drop it in the mud.
Yeah, you managed to hang on to it. It gets a little bit of mud on it just from when you fall, but that's it. So Jeanette, as he falls into the mud and you kind of hear that sucking sound of mud when he falls in, giving a small chuckle, but then from around you, not next to you where Tomas is, but around you, you hear this bubbling and almost like a burping sound from different areas within this clearing that's in front of you. And Jack, as you look out, as you watch Jeanette kind of stiffen as she hears the noises, what was your success? Was it just a regular success?
Yeah, 42.
Okay.
To a 45.
Jeanette, you hear a noise that almost sounds like it is nearby you. And Jack, you look around, and what you see, you can barely make out this figure that's not too far away from you. It's actually in the tree kind of above you as you look around. And it's this creature that looks like it is made of mud and muck and bits of swamp algae and just dead minutia from the swamp is kind of hanging off of it. And it has this, it's vaguely humanoid, and it has this blank face of stone, but it's clinging onto the tree and it looks down at you. And then all of you hear this almost a growling noise as it goes to jump down from the tree. But you were quick enough to see it, so you will get to move first in this combat. You guys, you get to do Call of Cthulhu combat! So with Tomas on his ass in the mud.
I knew I should have gone through that.
Was this because of the joke? Was this because of the dad joke?
100%. So the way that combat in Call of Cthulhu works is it goes completely in order of dex. There's not a roll to determine who goes when. But the fun thing is those with firearms are immediately bumped to the front. Which means that aside from Jack having one opportunity to do something, because he is, well, actually, I will say Jack and Jeanette both get an opportunity to do something. Jeanette, because she heard them. Jack, because he saw them. Then we will move into initiative order, which will go Jeanette, since she has her little Derringer. Yeah, that's right the first time. Her little Derringer pistol. And then it will go to Tomas. We all know he's got a gun. And then it will be James, the creature, and then Jack. So, Jack, what we normally do with, well, what I like to do for combat in Call of Cthulhu, between you and Jeanette, what is your intention to do as we kick off with this mud golem-esque creature of mud and stone looking down at you from this tree? Oh, by the way, as soon as, do you call everyone's attention to this thing up there?
Oh yeah, I was waiting for you to like stop
What do you
describing.
do? I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Because I have my bat because I made sure we got it. I'm gonna point at it with the bat like I'm calling a damn home run. I'm like, right there.
It's gonna say Babe Ruth it to this creature.
Oh yeah.
As soon as everyone's attention is drawn to this creature, let's get some sanity rolls, because this thing ain't normal.
Fair. Oh, awesome. That's good. 12.
I'll second that. Awesome. Not quite, but pretty good.
I'm chilling
29.
at 33.
48. I'm still a little
Awesome.
trembling from all the bones.
Yeah. So you all each only lose 1 point of sanity as you see this otherworldly golem-esque creature. And then, other than calling everyone's attention to it, what do you do, Jack?
I called a shot. Might as well take it. Yeah, because that thing decided to drop down and it wasn't like just watching us. Yeah, it's gonna get hit. It's gonna get a hit in the face with a baseball bat.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll your fighting brawl with your bat.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets to try to dodge.
47. My brawl is 70, so I'm pretty sure that's a hit.
Is that a hard success?
Let me double check for you. No, hard success would have been 35.
Okay. He got a hard success on his dodge, so you go to hit him, and he just kind of jukes out of the way, moving a little bit more dexterously than you would expect from a creature of mud and stone. Jeanette, what do you do?
I let out a little, not like full on scream, but I stop myself as I pull the pistol out, aim it, and give it a pop.
Roll your firearms.
That is a 32, and I have 40 for the firearms.
Beautiful. I'm I'm going to say that because it already tried to and managed to dodge out of the way of Jack's bat, it does not realize what you are doing and therefore does not have the time to move out of the way. So go ahead and roll your damage, which I believe is a 1d6.
That'd be 4 points.
Oof. You fire close range at this creature because it's only a few feet from you as it has managed to dodge out of the way of the bat swing, and you watch as pieces of mud and muck kind of explode off of it. It is still there, but half of its essence is now partially on you, partially on Jack. And that's going to bring us to the top with Jeanette. And if each of you want to kind of express your intention for the round, you are welcome to kind of talk together to see who wants to do what.
I mean,
I think Jeanette would be like, trying to keep her facade of being a bad girl, badass. She's just gonna freak out and just get walked in to try and drop this thing.
My goal.
Anything else?
Oh, sorry. Good. I was saying my goal in general is to get everybody up and running away.
All right. Knowing that, Jeanette, we're back to you.
That was a 40, which is right at my
All right. And this creature has kind of had the moment to gather itself, as it were. Ooh, and it is not able to move out of the way fast enough. So roll your d6.
5 points.
Okay. You manage to absolutely, as you fire into this creature, it explodes.
Ew, 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 ew. All over my clothes.
Yeah, it has.
In my mouth.
Yep. Yeah, there's like bits of mud in your mouth. You get pelted with a few stones. As this happens, you all hear more noises, more of that bubbling and burping and sloshing and that suctiony sound of things coming up out of water around this clearing, and you can make out their shapes slightly in the distance around where these huts are. But yeah, I'll say you all can see it. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more of these humanoid mud and muck golems that begin to, with somewhat surprising speed, all converge in a semicircle around your position, running at you like little humanoid stocky battering rams.
All right, a plan would be nice.
In the book, the 2 words that are recognized while looking at the carvings, which now I've lost the page because I've closed the book and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But one of them was protection, one of them was destroy. So while flipping through and trying to find my damn page, I'm going to try pronouncing them as best I can. One after the other, or try one a couple of times, try to get protection down, try to get destruction down. My question is whether or not I saw anything like a fucking mud golem in the book, and whether or not anything else on that page, if I can find it, is going to help me here.
I want you to give me... Oh, what role is this going to be?
I have mechanical repair.
I mean, I'm gonna have you roll. Oh God!
Straight intelligence?
I'm gonna have you roll luck with a difficulty die.
Oh, great. Okay.
Because this is a high stress, high stakes kind of situation. Oh no. What did you roll?
Oh, I love this. I love that I am the person failing forward here.
Oh no.
So, 89 was the better of the two rolls. There's only one other option that could come out of a penalty die.
Wow.
So what's my 99 get me today?
Yeah, so you're near extremely critical, but still a critical failure. That book, number one, the words do nothing as you're sitting there trying to repeat them and pronounce them correctly. These creatures are not stopping.
Getting mud all
And
over the pages,
as the
just
first
ripping them.
one comes and manages, while you are frantically looking through the book, it lunges at you and grapples you. The book goes out of your hands, face down, page down into the mud. And this creature, you feel it as it begins to drag you down into the swamp water.
Love that. I am using whatever is left of my action to scream like a little
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, so as the other four of these creatures are running towards the rest of you, you all hear Tomas's manly scream, completely screaming like a bitch. And you see this creature made mostly of stone with a little bit of mud, and it's like the scraping noise as it has got locked around him and is beginning to sink into the swamp. Jeanette, what do you do?
Do I have a shot at the one dragging him down?
It is currently wrapped around him. I will say that there will be a difficulty die on that roll if you try to shoot at the creature. But you can certainly try. Actually, no, there won't be a difficulty die. At this point, you're good with your firearm. You feel pretty confident you can get a shot off.
The 27?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh. Let's see if it can do an interesting thing. No, it cannot. Yep.
That'd be 4 points.
All right. All right. Yeah, so parts of it seems like this stone kind of breaks off in a few places, but it doesn't quite have as much of a detrimental effect as it did hitting the one that was mostly mud. Tomas, this creature is dragging you down. What do you do? And it. Well, go ahead.
Is Jack or James standing within arm's reach of me?
Roll luck. Let's find out.
I was gonna say, I don't know if this works like D&D combat where this all happens like within a couple seconds of each other, but my plan was to be running towards him to grab his ass and take off.
I got a 41 on that luck out of 60.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, so Jack is coming towards you, not quite right at you yet.
Right on. Yeah, as soon as somebody else is within arm's reach, I am going to koala their leg.
Okay. So, James, as you run up, you just feel arms go around your one of your legs, just hanging on like a koala on a tree trunk. And it is your turn.
Sweet. Yeah, so he's not even getting a chance to roll himself around my leg fully before I'm trying to grab his collar and yank him up out of these things' arms.
Okay, so it's going to be a contested strength roll.
Okay.
Does he get anything for that thing being shot?
Unfortunately, no. These things are pretty brawny.
I had to ask.
But nice try. I like that you asked.
Is my scrambling like a little bitch doing him any favors?
Let's find out.
It's Cthulhu. That's just a baseline.
Oh, so beautiful. That's a beautiful, beautiful number. 18.
Ooh, yeah, your 18 beats his success. So you manage to just drag him out of the arms of this creature who looks pretty perturbed. And now you've noticed that these creatures and their speed are all around you. So this one actually that you just managed to free Tomas from is actually going to attempt to bite your leg, James.
Oh shit.
But unfortunately, with you being in the midst of pulling Tomas out of its grasp, it's kind of flailing a little wildly, and it does miss you.
Oh, thank God.
The next one, as I believe most likely Jeanette and Jack, kind of a little bit of your attention has been pulled. Jack, you feel as one manages to get behind you and actually, I will give you an opportunity to dodge if you would like.
I think I would.
Okay.
I do not. 88
Okay.
is not going to let me dodge.
It is going to basically take a mossy fist and slam it into you and do 2 points of damage. Next, one that looks like it is just completely made of vines and bits of rock and pieces of tree is going to come and try to get Jeanette. And it is going to completely miss her. But Jeanette, your attention is then pulled to this viney creature that is attempting to reach out and get you. The other two are going to kind of look. Let's see. Yeah. No, they dumb. One is still a little further off and hasn't reached you all yet, but you notice that it picks up this clump of mud in its mitt. And it looks like this one is covered in different spores and mushrooms, and it is going to fling that at James. And that is also going to miss. And the last one that looks like an amalgamation of leaves and twigs is going to again rush up and look to help the one made of stone that was trying to pull Tomas under. But unfortunately, as it goes to try to grab James, you manage to kind of shift Tomas out of the way, and he is safe.
Damn, champion, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duck, dip, dodge, dip, and dodge again.
And that's going to bring us to Jack.
Having just been sucker punched and not taking kindly to that, I'm going to look at the one behind me, turn around to face him, while kind of keeping like an eye on I know there's another one like in the area.
Yeah.
But I'm going to see if I could just go to town with the baseball bat on the one that just hit me.
Go for it.
That is a 60 to hit, and it is a regular hit for me.
Oh, yeah. It attempted to dodge and cannot manage to get out of the way of your Louisville Slugger.
Nice. So that's going to be a lot of damage, hopefully. Just fish this thing out. There we go. That is 5 points of damage total.
Lovely. Yeah, you managed to kind of take a crack at it, and just parts of mushrooms and stuff. There's like that little of some mushroom spores as you slam into it. And that brings us to the top of the round again. What are your intentions, each of you, for this round?
I mean, if the plan is we want to run away, then I'll follow along. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to continue to swing for the fences.
I'm going to try to get us a hole. So we got a place to run.
I mean, how many of these things are there left again?
Like 5 or 6.
There are 5.
Only 5? Okay.
So my plan for this round depends on a mechanical question. A wise and beautiful arcane keeper of the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck y'all, butter helps. So next to for my pistol, under number of attacks, I've got a 1 and a 3 in parentheses. Does that mean in a single round on a single turn, I can pop, pop, pop?
That means you have 3 shots before you have to reload.
Okay. That is what I needed to know. My intentions are to grab the book in GTFO.
Okay.
I will change that plan if anybody gets grabbed.
That means, Jeanette, we will start with your turn.
I actually got to reload. How does that work? Is that an action to do that, or is that?
Yeah, it's just an action to reload.
Okay, I'm gonna try to see where, like, there's space to maybe to get us out, and whatever is like linking that space, I want to shoot the one that looks the weakest.
When you're saying that you want to get out, are you saying do you want to move into the clearing, or are you moving back the way you came?
Probably back the way it came.
Okay. I'll say normally you only get 1 action per turn. I will let you give me a spot hidden roll. It's really basically just perception to try to figure shit out. But yeah, give me a spot hidden roll. To see if you can find a good path while you reload.
51. No, I do not.
Yeah. These creatures have pretty much begun to surround you, and it feels like there's not really a clear way to get out without running through or between two of them in some way, shape, or form. Which takes us to Tomas.
I'm gonna grab the book. And I'm going to look at my firefighter friend James. Which way are we going? I'm all turned around in here.
Look, get back to back. Try not to get grabbed. There's no way out. These things got us surrounded.
Oh, fuck's sake. So I'm changing my plan. Now that I have the book, I am going to aim at one of the ones that is between us and the houses, which I am only just now noticing because it was happening in the middle of a previously bad roll. There's fucking houses over there. Why aren't we going over there? Pop.
Make a hole.
Oh! 13.
Nice!
Which is well under my 40. And also under the half. I'm not sure if that makes it a really good success.
That makes it a hard success, which means it will be harder for it to evade.
Talk it up.
It did not succeed on its dodge roll, so roll your damage.
That is a 6 for damage.
Okay, and this was against the one made of stone that grappled you?
No, this is whatever one is most directly in between me and those huts or houses.
Okay, I will say that's probably the one that's made of moss that was on James.
Love it.
So, you said that was how many?
6 damage.
6. Yeah, so you fire into it, and again, like, just pieces of it kind of go flying off, and it kind of almost seems to gather itself in again, though seemingly slightly smaller. It is still up, but it does look damaged.
Right on. I'm going to use whatever I got left to holler at the group. Fucking clear out these two. We can head to those houses over there. And try and give us a focal.
Okay. Switch this real quick. That brings us to James.
Who is muted.
James.
Supervisor walked in, caught him playing games.
Oh no.
You guys gotta give me a second, sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't far off. Oh no.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, literally the only person we can't play without.
Did we figure out what we're doing yet?
I think he's still distracted. Which makes this a great time to remind everybody that you live on the internet just the same as we do. There are buttons all over the place. Start pressing them. Every button you can find. Like, subscribe, follow, heart, thumbs up, ring the bell, all the stuff. Do the things.
Share. Tell your
with
friends.
Another person.
You know your
Anyway,
your grandma
so
wants.
I want to try and punch a hole in one of the ones between us and the houses.
All right, that's going to be the one directly by you, which is the one covered in moss. Roll to punch.
Yeah, and that's just a regular, like, blah, blah, blah roll. What's it called? The,
Brawl.
brawl.
Fighting brawl.
Okay, that's not too bad. 36.
Okay. Yeah, so it manages to just barely begin to dodge out of the way. So I'm going to have you roll your damage, and we're going to reduce it by 1 point.
Okay, and the damage for this is what? A D4 plus 2 plus my damage bonus is, I think, is what it said somewhere. Sorry,
So it looks like your brawl is 1d3 plus your damage bonus, which is 1d4. So roll a 1d6. We'll cut it in half, rounding up. And then you also roll a 1d4.
Okay, so my D6 roll is a 4.
Beautiful. So 2.
And you said a D4 roll?
Yes, please.
And that is a 2.
All right. So you managed to do 4 damage. And as you slam your fist into this creature, it just kind of disintegrates as bits of it kind of fly off, but mostly it just tumbles to the ground with its little rocky face, flat face kind of falling on top of the disintegrated moss. And that is going to be their turn. So the one that is stone is going to attempt to grapple Tomas again. Give me a dodge roll.
Yeah, 25.
Oh, yeah. So you see this coming as it tries to kind of come from the side and grab you again. And you manage to to kind of bat it off and move out of its reach. The one with the vines is going to once more attempt to get Jeanette. And actually, Jeanette, as it does, and it kind of moves past this other area to get closer to you, give me a spot hidden roll.
$90.
Okay. Well, yeah, it comes at you and it just completely misses you. Let's see. Oh, that was wrong. No, that was wrong. So, Jack, the one that you managed to wail on with your bat is going to swing at you, and you see it kind of coming at you hard and fast, and I need you to roll me a dodge as it comes in to claw you.
Uh, 17.
That is phenomenal. So you manage to move out of the way almost entirely, but not quite. You are going to take 1 point of damage as this creature still manages to kind of clip you in the shoulder as you juke out of the way. And lastly, the other one that is over by James, made of leaves and twigs. Is going to attempt to hit him. I've got to remember. Yeah. And for that one, I'm also going to need. Oh no, he left. Damn it.
He's back.
He's back. Cool. I need James to roll a dodge.
On it. Sadly, an 88.
This creature is going to manage to land a massive claw, just slashing into James's clothing and skin on, I'm gonna say, kind of cutting down his arm. And you were gonna take 5 points of damage. Have you taken any damage since?
I have not.
Okay, so that takes you down to 6.
It does.
You are so very lucky. Okay. That is their turn, and that brings us to Jack.
Let's swing for the fences again.
All right.
I think this might be an okay roll. 6.
Ooh, that is a very okay roll. That is definitely going to be I believe that's a critical success for you.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Roll that damage.
That's
Yeah,
7
there's no
points
way
of
it's getting
damage.
that way. Yeah, you slam into it, and this time you just manage to take that swing straight across, and you knock its stone-covered face off the rest of its body, and those mushrooms and mud just fall apart and kind of explode a little bit on you as well from the impact. So we're going to
As
be at
my
the
next-
top of the next. Huh?
Before, just for fun's sake, before I'm done, I just look at the neck. I just go to the next one, whoever is like closest to me. I just point the bat at them.
It's probably the one made of vines that's currently trying to get Jeanette.
I just point the bat at it.
All right, that's going to bring us to the top of the next round of combat. What are the intentions with this round? Are we fighting? Are we running? You've got 3 left.
Which I believe means
3
that
left.
we have a hole now.
We do have a whole 3 left with one of us, with me a little banged up, and one of us really close to being very hurt.
Yep. Trying to corral everybody and get them to the huts.
I mean, it could be their huts, though. No?
I think it's a risk we got to take.
All right, I'm on board with you guys.
All right, we're going to start the round with Jeanette's turn.
Who's up?
We are at the top of the round, and it is your turn.
Seeing the whole, I would like not to be surrounded anymore.
I can barely hear you. Let's see. Yeah, you still have a creature that has not been hit at all that is right on you. But Jack did manage to take out one of the creatures, so there's 3 creatures left.
Now I can move and attack, right? Or I just have to choose one or the other.
So yeah, in the round of combat, you can kind of if you land your attack, I'll say you do manage to make a move.
Okay. I wanna kind of like now while like shoot and kind of like turn or move towards the opening.
Okay.
Oh great. Nope.
What'd you get?
78.
Okay. Yeah. So you go to fire, and it manages to move out of the way. Oh. Interesting. So that is going to bring us to Tomas.
Running. I will run as far as I can, as per my movement, and then turn and point my gun so that as everybody else follows me, I'll be able to give a little bit of covering fire on the next round, so we can like pick them off as they try to tail us.
Okay. And your movement is 7?
I have no idea. Hold on.
It is. I have your sheet.
Okay.
Your movement is 7.
Thank you.
So you're not quite as fast as probably the others are, but you kind of hightail it as best as you can, breaking through these creatures. And that will bring us to James. You notice that some of these creatures, they clock that movement, and it looks like at least one of them is likely starting to follow.
We're talking, you are muted.
Yep.
Or he's busy doing very important things.
Indeed. Welcome back.
Hi, sorry. Internet is absolutely garbage. It has been a day. It continues to be a day.
Indeed.
Yeah, so with having covering fire there, and we're all looking at, I would like to, is it possible like to do like a dodge or like be evasive as I run so that I reduce the chances of getting tackled, chased, or otherwise hit?
I will let you preemptively roll to dodge.
Sweet. Okay, so my preemptive dodge roll is going to be a 28.
Beautiful. Yeah, that is definitely a very good, that is a hard success for you for dodge.
It is.
Beautiful. So, the creature of stone is going to come running for Tomas and will overtake him because it is faster. Roll to dodge for me.
Oh, 26.
All right, you managed to dodge out of the way as this thing kind of tries to pounce and bite you.
Back, fucker.
So then we are going to the next one is going to go, the vine one that is still on Jeanette is going to attempt to attack her again. And it is going to basically swing wide with a vine strike. And the last one that is on James is going to attempt to hit him. And it would hit, but he was ready for it and manages to deflect the blow and dodge out of the way. That's going to bring us to Jack.
So I know we're all running, but, you know, we're hurting. There is a lady who's being attacked. Jack,
There is.
Jack can't start turning tail just yet. So he's going to position himself like in front of the two, like in between where the one attacking James is and the one attacking Jeanette is. And he's going to take a swing at the vine creature attacking Jeanette.
Go for it.
And that is a 34, which is just enough for a high success.
Beautiful. Yeah, it definitely failed its dodge. So go ahead and roll that.
9 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. So you slam into that creature, and it's like an explosion of leaves, like, when you jump into a leaf pile, except very, very creepy and spooky and gross, as all these leaves just come flying off of it. They're like the dead kind of leaves that you find in your gutters. They're kind of swampy and nasty and gross and decomposing. And so a lot of them splatter both you and Jeanette, but it looks like it is barely keeping its shape together. Which will bring us back to the top of the round with Jeanette.
There's 2 things on Jeanette's mind. I gotta get out of here, and I need a shower.
Yeah. So what's Jeanette gonna do?
She's gonna move out of danger.
All right. So you are going to run away. Are you moving in towards the huts or away from the huts?
Towards everybody, where everybody's been shifting to. I'm gonna be heading that way.
Okay, so you follow Tomas's path. Granted, that is also moving towards another one of these creatures. But there we go. And that brings us to Tomas. Tomas, as you are running, you weren't too terribly far away from these huts, and your movement kind of gets you closer to them. You can see that they are indeed very broken down. The doorways are open. The doors are on the ground in front of them. They're kind of just falling apart. They look very much disused. And there is a hut to your left, one to your right, and one straight ahead that looks smaller than the other 2. And as you look around, in front of the hut to your right, you see a dead body. So from what you see, it looks like this body laying face up on the ground, this cloak kind of around it and half on it, blocking much of it out of view, but the decomposing arms are stuck out. And that is as much as you can glimpse as you run. Where are you running?
Well, I had stopped running at the end of that last round to turn around and give some cover fire. So as of clocking this,
Also, you kind of see this as you rotate too.
Yeah.
So it's just that barely thing that kind of hits in your mind. And
like,
then,
there's somebody else dead over there.
and then it kind of really hits you. There's another dead body over there. And I do want you to roll sanity.
25. All right.
Beautiful. Yeah, you hold it together. You lose 1 point because fuck, it's a dead body. What the fuck is happening here?
Well, it's a dead body with a cloak on, and who fucking wears a cloak anymore?
Who indeed? Larper. Who indeed? What do you do?
So this one that just took a swing at me, and I can see Jeanette running this way. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at this guy who's right up on me.
Go for it.
Before attempting to tuck tail and fucking run some more.
And you do get a bonus die with this. I'm so sorry because you are point blank range.
I didn't need it. That's a 2.
Ooh. Well,
So,
I don't think I'm going to manage to. Yeah, no.
Do they all have that stone face on them?
Yeah, they all have that stone face.
Point blank range, right between wherever the eye holes are, or maybe stick the barrel in an eye hole.
There are no eye holes. It is just this blank kind of face shaped. But
I want to
with
try
that
and shatter that thing in half.
Yeah, so you're gonna roll your weapon damage. plus if you get a damage bonus, which I don't believe you do.
Not for a pistol.
And then you're going to do an additional dice roll for the weapon damage and add it.
Okay, so roll damage twice.
Yep.
It's going to be a total of 8.
All right. You obliterate the stone golem, and pieces of it break off and shatter. And both you and Jeanette do take 2 points of damage simply from the blast of stone that goes colliding and pelting into you.
A little bit of shrapnel. It'll be all right.
Yeah. That's going to bring us to James.
Yeah, so that leaves how many?
There are 2. There is one on you that is all twiggy, and one that is just gotten, I think. No. There's another one with vines that it looks like it's starting to move after Jeanette.
Okay. I'm going to slash at the one that's getting twiggy with it.
All right. Do it.
Man, I'm really going to need to look for an act at these cabins because I need to start hitting harder. So that is going to be a straight up raw roll, which is going to be a 60 straight.
A 60?
Yeah.
Oh, it does not manage to dodge, so if that is a success for you, then go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so that's going to be the D3 and the D4. So that D6 is a 6. I saw it.
So it's 3.
Yep, and then that D4 is and we balance it out with a 1.
All right, so 4 points of damage. As you slash into this, you manage to cut basically through it. And you didn't necessarily think it was that strong of a hit, but you managed to kind of cut through the main veins, and its body kind of slides apart, and it crumples to the ground.
I don't know if anybody notices it, but there's a huge sigh of relief after the huge smack that James got.
Beautiful.
Thank fucking God.
All right, so that last golem made of vines and just kind of wrapped around is going to chase after and follow Jeanette. Let's see what. And if she moved her full movement, yeah, it is just going to be able to catch up to her. Does Jeanette, would Jeanette like to try to dodge?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
I would like to push your roll by tripping.
What did you get on your roll?
Do you really want to know?
You cannot push combat rolls, so yes, I do.
98.
Ooh. Yeah. So it manages to slam into you as you do indeed trip and fall, but this just allows it to pounce onto you, and it almost, as it impacts you, you take 4 points of damage. Had you already taken any damage, Jeanette?
Yeah, I just took some from that shotgun, the last one blowing up.
Oh, the 2. Okay, so that took you to 9. So you're reduced down to 5, which thankfully is not half of your hit points. Fun fact with Call of Cthulhu: if you lose half or more of your hit points from one attack, you have to roll Constitution to see if you fall unconscious or not. But as this creature does impact you, and it almost begins to smother you into the ground. So you are effectively grappled at the moment and cannot move. And that is going to bring us to Jack.
So Jeanette is grappled by this thing, which means this thing is, very busy and very preoccupied, which means a random, bat to the side of the head would probably have, probably catch him unaware a little bit. So let's try the random bat to the head.
Let's try it.
The random bat to the head is going to, I think, hit with an 18.
Yeah, it definitely does. It is not able to evade that hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Big damage, big damage. No whammies, no whammies. Big damage, big damage. 5.
Okay, yeah. So you slam into it, and it definitely feels like that does some solid damage to it. It kind of snaps a few of the thicker vines that build this body up, but it is still there. Jeanette, you may attempt to escape the grapple if you would like. And that's just going to be a contested strength roll.
That'd be a 62.
Okay, you struggle and fight with all of your strength to try to get out of this creature's grasp, but it is still pulling you down into this swamp. You kind of begin, as you're kind of gulping down breaths, it is beginning to get a little bit of muck water into your mouth. At the same time, it's hard to turn your head to not get any of that in your mouth as it begins to sink down into the muck with you. And that does bring us to Tomas.
Can I do anything to like taunt it and hopefully change its focus?
Yeah. Roll. Well, what do you do? What do you do to try to taunt it?
Let's see. I'm gonna say, "Come on, you ivy-covered bastard! I'm right here. Let's go, you and me."
Give me an intimidate roll.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it didn't work. 91.
Yeah, that doesn't seem. It does not seem to necessarily. Maybe it doesn't understand English. Maybe it's your accent. It doesn't seem to really take that into consideration as it is currently trying to drown Jeanette. Tomas, you're up.
Rolled a 7 to shoot at it. Do I need a penalty die on that because it's grappling her?
Yes, please.
Well, that's a 97, so I'm just going to kill Jeanette instead.
I'll save the balance between the two rolls. Your shot just barely grazes her. What roll? Well, I'm going to roll that. Jeanette, as you're sinking down, you feel this kind of burning, piercing pain go past your arm, and you are going to take 2 damage. And this kind of reddish bloom happens over this bit of water in the swamp that is currently that Jeanette is being submerged into at the moment.
Still on the roll damage for the viney guy. Oh, well, I guess no, 97 probably wouldn't hit.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But that does bring up James's turn.
It does.
I saw you light up, but I cannot hear you.
He's very low.
Oh. Cthulhu really has cursed this game today, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Am I heard?
Hey, now
Now
I hear you.
you're golden.
It is beautiful. All right, so we got the Vine Boy. He's attempting to attack my
You're
fantastic
currently
bookworm
drowning
friend.
Jeanette, and Jeanette has also accidentally been shot by your other friend.
God love the bookworm. He doesn't know what he's doing. Can I attempt to tackle the monster off of Jeanette?
Contested strength roll, and yes, you may.
Sweet. Alrighty. That is a 22.
All right. You managed to begin to pull it off Jeanette, but that's not enough to really fling it off of her. But it will need to re-grapple her. So it does break the grapple, but it is still right there.
As long as it's enough to get her breath.
Yeah, so Jeanette, you do manage to take in a breath as this weight is lifted off of you for a second. And at that, as you kind of disrupt what it's doing, James, this creature is going to attempt to strike out at you. However, it most certainly misses you. You don't need to even roll dodge for that.
Beautiful.
And it's going to take us to Jack.
The bottom of the ninth. Bases are loaded. Just time to hit the runners in home.
Do it.
38.
Let's see. No, it does not succeed on its dodge. Roll your damage.
8.
Yeah, you slam that bat into it, and once more, you manage to you knock it back, and for a second you get ready to come back again with another hit. But the vines just begin to untwist and break down, and it falls to the ground with no extra shrapnel damage for anyone. And we are out of combat.
And that is why I wanted to go back to get the bat.
Okay, can I, hey, Mrs. Beautiful Arcane Keeper of the Arcane BS of the Arcane,
Yes.
can I search the outside of these cabins in hopes of finding an axe? Like, maybe perhaps they chopped wood or did something axe related?
So you're going to kind of begin to investigate these huts? More
Yes, I
around the
would like
outside, or are you going to go inside?
More around the outside, just sort of like feeling as if the fight may not be
scan the
over yet.
perimeter. Give me a spot hidden roll.
A spot hidden roll, A.
Indeed.
Oofta, 59.
It's your okay. You do not find an axe or anything, but you do see that dead body as you kind of move a little closer. And I need you to roll sanity as you see this corpse of it's partially decomposing. It smells like absolute death. As you also look around, you do see a few like pieces of spinal columns and legs, and it is just incredible. I'm actually going to have you roll sanity twice.
Alrighty. That first one is going to be a 42.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is going to be a 57.
Nice. So you're going to lose 3 points of sanity. And as your eyes kind of fall on this corpse. The corpse, though decaying, somehow also looks like it hasn't been there that long. Like the face is still in perfect condition, despite the fact that the rest of it looks like it has had the life literally sucked out of it. This face, beyond this robe that has kind of, part of it is blocking, but on the other side it has fallen open, and you can see just this gore, these slash marks, 4 deep gashes across the chest where this robe has opened. This face looks like an expression of surprise and pain, and it's laid out with something in its fist. What do you do when you see this?
I'm gonna sigh and begin to walk towards it.
Okay.
And
Do you call attention to it at all? There's no outcry at this dead body in the middle of these huts. It's just okay.
I think that after
Another dead
some of
body?
the things, that I've seen, and especially after the attack, it's gonna be more of a resigned, just like a depression of like, this is more than likely the fate we're gonna come to if we continue down this.
Okay.
Like, I don't think
And
that
so
it's a, oh my god, dead body. I think it's a, oh fuck, no, not another, not more.
Okay, so as you move towards this body, I guess that leaves Jack. You're next to a almost dead Jeanette. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna help her up first of all,
Yeah.
and like kind of like let her get some bearings on me, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna need some help, walking. And why not try it? And I can't do any damage, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna
No,
do
you
a
definitely
first aid.
can. No, you definitely
Yeah.
can do damage.
I'm gonna do a first aid to see if I can, just try and make anything a little better.
I mean, you can always call me back over. I'm sort of in the shell shock phase right now.
I mean, if I do not too good on this, I might. But I am proficient, or whatever the word would be for Call of Cthulhu, in first aid because boxer injuries. So
Okay.
And I am bleeding, so
Yeah.
probably pretty good.
that is a 36.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you actually do manage to just apply some, pressure to the wound. You help her up. You help her clear her airway of this muck and mud. And Jeanette, you are healed of 1 hit point.
Yay! I'm still fucked up.
And after I make I'm like, take care, just relax. It's gonna be all right. I'm gonna look. James, what do you see over there?
That's a great question. What do I see, Miss Keeper?
Yeah. So aside from this corpse that, from the look of it, it's really hard to determine whether it is recent or not. But some of that blood on its chest looks fresh despite the hussed out and slightly decaying arms. It's almost like the swamp was in a hurry to reclaim this body. You do see 3 huts. 2 are larger than the other. There are no doors on these huts. They have been broken down. It seems that whoever was here just really didn't need to care too much about privacy. As you look around, you do see that in the hand of this gentleman that is dead, clutched in his hand, is a small tubular whistle that looks like it is carved from bone. And it has tiny carvings on it. And that's as much as you can see from right there.
Cool. I'm going to sort of shake my head and attempt to snap out of it. Hey, Tomas, you might want to come glance at this. She's got something that looks witchy. Whatever this bullshit we're dealing with is. You might want to check in the book. Does anybody need help? Do I need to look at anybody? All
Am
this
I-
while like my arm is torn the fuck up and I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
I'll tell James, go ahead and sit down for a minute. We can look at the dead body when we take care of the living ones. Jeanette, sorry about shooting you. And try and patch up James.
Actually, can I attempt to just sort of self aid?
You may actually both roll if you'd like. You can basically help them. So you both roll.
Oh, that's beautiful. I got a 50 flat out of 50.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Awesome. I'll say with those 2 successful rolls, you do manage to heal 2 hit points.
I'm sitting there trying
yeah.
to wrap it, and the fireman's like, no,
Yeah.
like this. You gotta do the crisscross here.
And as this healing is happening, and I'll say you two are very kind of paying attention to what you're doing right now. But with time passing for the investigation and time passing for applying your first aid and trying to help each other out, Jeanette and Jack being kind of closer, you begin to see these vines from that creature that you just dispatched. They start to seem almost like they are shifting slowly back together. Slowly, but it's happening.
Got any light? You got a lighter? Let's fix this.
Anyone good with fire? We have a weed problem coming back.
Having heard this from my teammates, the stone one that I shattered his face. Do we see any movement out of that one also?
It's very hard to tell, but you do begin to see that crack in the face is no more. And bits and pieces of stone are slowly beginning to come back together.
All right, fuck it. I say we run while we got a chance.
Yeah. I say we grab that flute, maybe take a quick glance in each, like everyone sort of takes a quick glance in there to see if there's anything useful weapon-wise or anything like that. Just a quick glance in a cabin and take off.
I'll poke my head in one.
I'll grab the flute thing.
1, 2, or 3. Who's taking which?
I got one.
All right.
I'll
So you're
take.
gonna
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was like, I'll take 3, assuming that this was called out to us.
Yeah, I'll take the middle one if somebody will grab the flute.
Yeah, so that would actually be Jack, who is moving towards that body. Seeing the body in such a state, I am going to say that, well, no, I already had you roll sanity for that body, didn't I?
I may.
No. Oh, well then, yeah. You're going to roll sanity for that one. Jeanette, I think you're just kind of sitting there trying to catch your breath again and still coughing up bits of muck and mud.
I'm probably also trying to inch over to the tree line back, to find some cover.
Okay. Give me a spot hidden roll as you do.
I'm not a little fucked up. I'm a lot fucked up.
You're a lot of fucked up. But give me a spot hidden roll. And actually, I'll need a spot hidden roll from all 3 of you that are looking at the rooms as well.
Also, for my sanity, roll 33.
All right, you take 1 point of sanity loss from that body as you move, take the flute out of its hand, and walk into that hut.
Okay. And now I get a spot hidden to see if I see anything in the hut.
I failed my spot hidden on the first hut, 47 out of 25.
Okay.
Push it.
How do I go about pushing again?
You just re-roll, but if you roll worse, there's consequences.
I'll take the consequences.
I rolled a 32. Can I use my luck points to bring it down to that 25?
I generally only allow to spend 5 luck points on a roll.
Okay. I want to push it then.
Okay.
Got a 12 on my
Actually, you know
push.
what? In this case, I'll let you spend the luck. Go ahead.
Okay, sweet.
You can spend the luck because that is a rule that you are allowed to spend however much luck you want for the most part.
My spot hidden is 32. So a success, but not a great success.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured 7 was close enough. I think it might have made sense for me to spend my luck points to see if there's anything useful in there.
Tomas, what'd you get?
My push gave me a 12 out of 25.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And Jeanette, what was your spot hidden?
51.
Out of?
Don't have anything there.
Oh, okay, so out of 25. Yeah, so you inch up to the tree line. And there's kind of, these big, broad, two large, broad trees that you kind of sit between, just kind of getting a little bit of cover. Tomas, going into the room that you go into looks like it is this kitchen and eating area. There was no luxury. It is this, it smells foul. There is rotting meat. Some rusty pots and a fire pit with a tripod that is in the center of this hut, and there is actually a hole for where the smoke could waft out. But this is just squalor. It is disgusting, and as you smell it, it triggers your gag reflex simply from the smell of all the rotting food in there. And there actually isn't that much. It is just gross. James, the room that you move into, the one straight ahead. As you walk into this room, it looks like this was his maybe bedroom. There is just these pile of rotting leaves that looks like it's almost in the shape of a mattress. And that is the only thing in this tiny hut that is made literally of mud, sticks, and leaves. It is primitive. Jack, moving past the unfortunate body of this man, in here is this building is actually slightly better fortified than the others, and there is a long workbench that has various bottles, vials, carafes filled with very strange objects. One has these insects that are dead that are in the bottom. There's another one that is cork that has slowly moving insects that looks like they're on the verge of death from running out of air or food or whatever. There are innards of creatures. There is a brain sitting in a carafe. There are various substances that looks like they are now beginning to clot and just turn into this grotesque goo. And in the middle of this bench is this very, very old looking sheet of paper that is written in this very old fashioned script. And it looks like it contains a sort of spell. And I will put this particular item in the chat, and then you can read it.
Sounds good. I would also just grab that too. So here's what it says. to call and master the steed from the stars, to be performed when Aldebaran is above the horizon. This creature can be useful as a bodyguard, soldier, assassin, message carrier, and steed. Called and its will bound to yours such that it will not balk. Take care in the final steps, lets it strike you down, for unbound it is a most fearsome beast. Spill the blood of a 6-month-old unblemished calf or gentle maiden of no more than 14 summers. Spreading the crimson over the stones of the altar of summoning as the chant is repeated. Ikta Yanel Baiki Chatame Danai Sunomas Narb Yane Ikchita. Blow at this time into your whistle and set out 3 blasts of sound after each recitation. After some time, the sky will open, and from the rent in the heavens will descend a star steed, still crusted with the frost of his journey from beyond. Having heard the call of the supplicant, it is impelled to answer, yet it challenged for the right to command its nature. Fail in this, and your light will surely be extinguished. Using the dagger still coated with the blood of the summons, first point to the creature and then point to the ground, signifying your mastery over it. Apply your will fully to this task before the beast will seek for man's weakness and flee back to the stars. In full voice, utter, Ikhtata Biaki Kthame. With success, the beast will prostrate itself and be yours to command. Upon completion of your commands, custom dictates that the supplicant dismiss the creature. Take up the bone dagger and inscribe the X in the air for the creature. This signifies its tasks are done. Then draw the dagger's keen edge along your forearm from elbow to wrist and let 3 drops fall of blood to the ground and utter Nane Biaki Katame. Satisfied that it has been dismissed, the creature will depart.
All right. That's got a lot to it. Give me a spot hidden roll.
$12.
Beautiful. So as you have found this paper and kind of looked it over, you begin to look for more. Maybe the rest of the book is somewhere because this was definitely torn out of something. But what you find is a more modern notebook. Most of the pages in this small notebook are missing, but one page has something very useful on it. And if you want to read that, well, I'll read it this time. Creature does not always complete task. Sometimes not necessary. Dismiss it with ik katha yene biaki kathame 3 times said. After third, draw blade from under left eye straight down to left jaw line and leave 13 drops of blood from the wound in the bowl. Take the blood into your mouth. Spray it into the creature's face while saying kathame. It will then be forced back to the stars.
As I'm going to take the notebook and the spell, and I'm just going to hold on to them tight as I immediately get out of the hut and found something. Talk about it later because the things are coming. Let's go.
Yep, I'm with him. All I found was old food. Let's go. Where the fuck did Jeanette go?
I'm over by some trees, kind of. Yeah, hanging out, trying not to be in direct line of fire of these bastards.
Yep.
Oh, wait, I just realized something. I'm sorry to interrupt. Before I go, can I do one more? Do I see a bone dagger? Because I think that might be important.
Give me another spot hidden roll. Actually, what kind of success? Was yours just a regular success or was that a hard success on spot hidden?
Let me double check.
You.
That was half success. Fifth would have been a ninth.
Okay,
Or
so that was a
9 if I
hard
rolled.
success. I will say after you do that, when you step out, you do see a sheath on the side. It has been ripped, but you do see a dagger that looks like it is not made of metal on the person of this dead wizard.
Fabulous. As I'm like walking and talking, it's like, all right, come on, we gotta go. I'm just gonna reach down and pick it up. And just like, great, I have this. Let's keep going. Like, my goal is to get out of there before before the things come back.
Same.
Got some theories, guys. I think you might want to hear them, but we can hear them when we're safely away from vines and mud people that want to attack us.
All right. So you all gather up Jeanette and begin to get the fuck out. All
It's my
right.
favorite plan we've come up with yet.
Yes.
That is wonderful. And somehow yet a very unsatisfying way to end this scenario as you all, papers in hand, whistle rather, and dagger in hand, flee from this death scene where this wizard was very likely killed by his own summoned creature that must have failed at its task and felt no longer bound to him for whatever reason.
Yeah, my theory is that, and I'm just from that, I'm pretty sure I was right.
I love theories. Let's go.
The theory is that the wizard who Andrew saw is not the body lying before us, and that it's another person of the occult, shall we say, who was conducting research and wanted to summon this creature to serve them, and did a very poor job of mucked it up, either because he wasn't skilled enough or because this creature was having babies and creature didn't want to do that while it was pregnant, which I don't blame him. But my theory is we have some of the things that could either summon it to serve our needs, or maybe get rid of it if we really wanted to.
Okay. Anyone else have any theories that might differ from that?
Maybe he summoned it and it wasn't unbound from the other person.
Perhaps.
Honestly, I think he was targeting the... Oh god, what's her name? The rich woman. He was targeting her, and then when it had its hatchlings and it was unable to do that, he attempted to dismiss it, and it killed him in the middle of its dismissal in order to complete its task.
The professor had a crush and wanted the daughter to inherit everything. Classic murder mysteries motive.
I think the professor was just a fucking idiot. I am only going to put an addendum on the existing theory that this is definitely not the one that Andrew Lehman saw 20 years ago or however long. But a dangling thread would be the connection that this dead guy might have to Carradine and that property. Because why would the eggs ever be there in the first place?
Okay. Well, before we wrap and before we end, and I will give you all a little bit of a debrief, because this scenario has indeed come to an end. As there were 4 deaths that all of you witnessed, or at least came back and observed, each one is worth 1d4 loss of sanity points. And I rolled 13 total. So each one of you remove 13 points of sanity. And because you wittingly or unwittingly left those eggs out where the mother Byakhee could claim them, you will actually regain 1d8 sanity. Wait, that is the wrong die.
No.
No, you don't get a d12. So you regain 2 points of sanity for allowing the mother to at least reclaim her eggs.
Wait a second. What'd you roll on the D12? I don't like that roll on the D8.
I rolled an 8 on a 12, but you're not getting it. And with that, with our investigators fleeing as these golem protectors of this forest begin to reconstruct themselves, knit their bodies back together, and the Mama Byakhee and her baby and her eggs are still loose in the world, we end our scenario. Thank you, everyone.
Ooh.
I'm kind of happy that the monster had a happy thing.
I mean, I'll tell you if you had. Oh, good. You're done. I was just gonna say, like, if we had a few more minutes, I think what I was gonna do is I was gonna burn the spell. Like, listen, just like, nope. Listen, this creature's in the world, it's protecting its babies, and I don't want anyone to control it to do something nefarious.
Whether or not that happens, that is where we're going to end for the night. Stay on the line, everyone, for the debrief after, but this is where we leave our viewers. I'm going to spoil some things.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you all for watching. Have a good night. Hit all the buttons, and we'll see you next week for our regularly scheduled Denizens Arc 2.
Yep. Starting that chapter 2.
Woo!
All right. Good night, everybody. Dun, 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 dun.